listening to All Chiefed Up.
Kingdom ACU crew, we're back with another live podcast for that ass Steve, and rookies and quarterbacks led by Patrick Mahomes, the greatest quarterback of all time, and some new faces like Rees Zammit, Steve, ushering in this new group this year. They reported today. Steve, how you feeling?
I'm just happy football's rolling again, baby. That's
too.
all I'm happy about. It's about damn time. And I know everybody else is excited too. I mean, it's been a grueling offseason full of BS, from Rashee Rice to guys getting high to Isaiah Buggs being a jackass. It's just been one thing after another. But now we get the guys in the camp. Soon enough, they're all going to have the pads on. We're going to see what we got, especially with players, the new guys like Rees Zammit. I'm excited. I'm excited, baby.
I'm excited to see what old Zammit is going to do. Zammit, Bobby, I'm excited to get it going. Steve, let's look at some entrances. We had our boy Xavier Worthy showing up. He's looking healthy. He don't look like he's got a hammy issue.
No, he looks like he's ready for the heat at St. Joe. That's what he looks like.
It looks like he's ready for that heat. We had our boy Rees Zammit showing up with the water bottle because you got to stay hydrated out there. And then some guy right next to him with the wildest looking shorts I've ever seen, baby.
That guy's going to get a spot on the team. Whoever he is.
I don't know who it is. If that's an actual player and I'm just not recognizing him, I feel kind of bad for it.
It's not a player, sir.
No, I don't think so either. It looks kind of like a Noah Gray's crazy cousin from like North Carolina or something.
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Could be. We have Big Red showing up, Steve. Look at that Big Red coming in.
Big Red's always in style, you know.
Business as usual. Just look at him.
I need to get me a couple Big Red shirts for this summer. You know, just some kind of Hawaiian shirt, button up. Look at Mahomes here, baby.
Mahomes, he's red. He's ready to roll, baby. That's what he is. He's rolling in with I don't even know. Is that the kid from that Disney cartoon? I don't know who that guy is, but they're pumped to be here, Steve.
Yeah, for sure. I think everybody's just happy to see him getting there. It's about time to get this season rolling, man. Why does Mahomes have an aura around him? Like, when you see him, it's just like, he's that guy.
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's that guy.
We know. You just know. You can sense it. If he's like, sometimes he'll be in a plane, you know, he'll be flying. If he flies over the state of Kentucky, I just feel it. I sense it. I'm like, I just know he's close
there he
to
is.
me.
Hey, appreciate you guys being here tonight, Tuesday night. Live stream. You guys do us a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's get this out to more people, and let's get it started. I'm gonna go to the chat real quick, Mike. It looks like
let's get it going.
Got a couple people wanting to start this bad boy off just right, so we'll get that going. I want some air horn stuff.
Oh, he's air horning it.
Air horned up, baby.
He's horned.
Rob Miller with the 5 bomb. He says LRZ is going to be a superstar. Mike, what do you think? You think LRZ has a chance to be a superstar, or are you just like, is he just praying to God that he might make the roster? Where are we at here?
We've said from the beginning he has a big uphill battle. He's acknowledged this. Mahomes even come out and said it just the other day. He was on Rob Riggle's podcast talking about him. We posted a short. Said that he understands he has to learn things. He catches the ball funny. He's got to learn how to run differently. Just different things. But I think he's got the attitude, and I think he's going to make the team. I'm pulling I'm back to almost like 50-50, maybe even 60-40 that he makes it, because I feel like this special team stuff's really going to sway and move the needle here.
Well, that's his bread and butter, baby. That's what he's got to do. He's really got to excel at special teams because that's going to be his ticket. I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think the guy can be used in other ways on the offense, but that's just a bonus at this point because he's got a long way to go. He's got a lot to learn. So I think make the team as a special teamer and roll from there, man.
Could you see so we know how Andy likes to do a lot of like wild stuff. Like he goes out of the box. He finds these unconventional plays. He'll go back to the old Rose Bowl and do the 360.
Right. Yeah.
He's doing all this stuff, right? Snow globing and all this kind of stuff. Do you think maybe on some of these weird like 4th and shorts or whatever, you know how they get up and they do this rugby scrum? Do you think it's possible Zammit could take a snap out of a rugby scrum, sorta, on short yardage, and maybe, you know, he's used to putting his head down and picking it up. You know what I'm saying?
Let me get this straight. Are you asking me if I would be surprised if Andy Reid direct snaps to LRZ?
In a quarterback formation, as in he's directly under center and he's the man.
It wouldn't surprise me not one little bit. Andy Reid does that with Jarrett McKinnon.
How fast
He's
do we
done
see it?
He's put Isaiah Pacheco in the Wildcat. He's done it with Travis Kelce.
Woo.
Dude, I don't think Andy Reid even cares, man. He'll throw anybody back. He might let me under center for a play.
Oh, man, that ain't going too well.
Whatever.
We're getting stuffed on that one.
I got an arm, baby. I'm going to throw a touchdown
Don't
pass.
throw
Hollywood,
it. It's 4th and
Hollywood,
1.
look, I don't care. I'm throwing. And Andy will love me for it.
Andy will love it.
Got a freaking 5-bomb from Gamer Player, but we got another 5-bomb from Gamer Player here because he had a typo. So I love the fact that he thought he had to redo the whole thing.
Right. He's like,
Gamer Player,
this.
You're the man. Appreciate the support, brother. He says, basically, when's our first game? I'm jonesing here. Well, the first preseason game is, I believe, August 10th.
Jacksonville. We're going to the great state of Florida, the city of Jacksonville, the fountains and all over there. Okay, I was just there this summer. I was walking around the boardwalk. I was walking going up and down the beaches there in Jacksonville. Nice little spot. But we're going to come over there and we're going to smack them up on the first week of the preseason.
Man, I mean, that's really when we're going to see what someone like Rees Zammit will be able to do. Like, obviously, Camp's going to give us an idea, but an end-game situation, that'd be his first time ever being in an end-game situation in a football game.
Right.
That's going to be interesting to see how he holds up there.
Do you think you see a little Rees Zammit, like a lot of action early? Like, do you see a lot early and often, or do you see it as maybe if Andy doesn't really display it because maybe he don't want to give some of his tricks away or this and that? Do you think maybe?
Man, I'm not that guy. I do not, like, everybody says that about plays or players. Andy Reid's not hiding anything, okay?
But even with Zammit, who is possibly just going to be in there on a trickery play.
No, I'll tell you, right? Look, if they're iffy on Rees Zammit, you'll see a lot of him in the preseason.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking.
If they already have him slated in on that 53 pretty much as a special teamer or what have you, you'll see a little bit, and he'll come out. You're not going to see as much as you think. But appreciate the 2 5-bombs. Appreciate the 2 5-bombs, Gamer Player. The first actual game is going to be against the Ravens on September 5th at Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah, that's a Thursday
kicking
night.
The whole season off. The NFL has to do it right, baby. They got to get the champs out there early and often.
And don't screw the pooch like we did last year at the banner ceremony. Kadarius. Kadarius. Look, can Kadarius just sit out week 1? Let's just not have a repeat of last year. Actually, you can repeat last year if we get the end result repeat.
So if we go back and look at it, can we blame the Kadarius Toney downfall last season on Travis Kelce having an ankle injury and Chris Jones not playing? Because I think that hurt us more than...
No. I think there was another problem there.
They're forcing the ball to KT, and we wouldn't have normally been doing that.
Yeah, I get that point. But I don't think it was that. I think it was the fact that Kadarius Toney missed all of training camp, and they just shoved him right in there with no game speed experience, and he wasn't even completely healthy, I don't even think.
100%. I think that's exactly it. I think they put way too much weight on that kid's shoulders last offseason.
And he was out there horned up to get him in there.
Mike, they were out there saying he's going to be wide receiver 1. He's the Chiefs wide receiver 1. I think it was like a lot of pressure on him. And then, like you said, he sat out with injury all through training camp. He came out cold turkey trying to play in that first game, and it did not work out good.
They were horned trying to get him in there. And
Mike,
I just didn't agree with it.
Let's hope this year goes a lot different for Mr. Kadarius Toney. Kyle, with the 10-month membership, he says, do you think there's any merit to Davante Adams' rumor? Raiders would not have a wide receiver 1 if it happens. So what he's referring to, Mike, is I actually saw that there were some trade rumors going along with Davante Adams because of something that he had to say on the receiver show. I think that's what sparked it.
I've not got to watch the show yet, so this is news to me.
I watched one episode and a half of another one. I was just getting into the Davante Adams part, but I saw a clip where he was talking about how they're trying to kill him out there, basically. He's never took so many hits in his whole career. He's never got hit like that, and he's just tired of it, and they're going to kill him as a Raider. And then the next thing you know, there's some trade rumors, but I saw today where he squashed those. So
I heard that the Jets maybe were pushing at him and said that I'd read something that said the Jets may push at him again before the trade deadline. Look, we've seen Aaron Rodgers come out and say that they're not going to play together. Or was it Davante Adams said that he's not going to play with Rodgers again, maybe in a different time and era, but not this time, and that he's a Raider. And
maybe
blah, blah,
in another
blah.
life we'll play together again.
Yeah, in another life. No, you won't. Shut up. Like, just shut up. You're not.
No, I don't think he's going anywhere. He's getting paid too much money.
What's he talking about? The Raiders are trying to kill him.
He's just talking about out there getting beat to death.
Just bad quarterback play, just leading him into the worst spots ever, or he signed up for this. I have no sympathy for him.
None. Zero. He's getting paid so much. I don't care what happens to that guy out there on the field, short of him actually getting injured. Like, right. He can get beat up all day. I don't care. I don't feel bad for him. I don't care how bad they suck. And here's the thing. I don't think he's going to go anywhere because, first of all, they're not going to trade him. I just don't see it happening. They're not going to willingly give away their wide receiver one, especially when they're kind of iffy on a quarterback situation at the moment. So, I mean,
isn't that the time, though, to get rid of him? Because you don't have nobody throwing him the ball. If you can alleviate the contract, if you can get some more draft capital to build.
I'm the exact opposite. You have two mediocre quarterbacks. If you don't give them somebody that can bail them out, you're absolutely 100% screwed.
Are you trying to tell me Gardner Minshew can't throw a curveball?
I'm just telling you, if they didn't have Devontae Adams, they don't have a hope on offense.
You remember when Minshew was the hottest quarterback in the league for about 6 weeks a few years ago?
It's about 2 weeks.
Minshew mania.
And I think it was mostly to do with his mustache, and I think a lot of it is. Usually when a backup quarterback comes in and excels early, everybody's surprised. They're like, oh, that guy can play football. It's like, well, hell, he's a freaking backup quarterback in the NFL. Of course he's a good quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. But, yeah, I think it's just overhype and stuff. But, yeah, I think that's where we're at here. I don't think there's any fire to that smoke. I think it's getting put out.
Yeah, there's a lot of it.
There's some other ones. There's some other trade rumors and some requested trades and stuff, which we'll talk about in our episode that we'll have out tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern time,
right?
12 p.m. Central. So make sure to catch that video when it comes out. If you guys could just like set a little alarm or make a note, like, hey, at 1, let's go.
Set a freaking alarm.
Let's watch this video and hit that like button and get this bad boy out there.
You know what you could do? Even if you don't have time to watch it, just go in there and click it. Turn the volume down.
Like Karth.
Give it a like, and then go back and watch it again when you get home and give me double the watch time, baby.
Mike, we actually had a comment from Karth that said that. He's like, I'm here for the algorithm, but I'm going to watch it later. It's just playing right now.
Look, Karth's a real one.
Legend. That's a legend right there.
Legend. Wait for it. Dairy Karth. Steve, Patrick was asked today if you are still hungry to get that next Super Bowl, and he said once you have the taste of it, once you get the taste of that sweet nectar of life, that Super Bowl, he said it makes it suck even worse when you're not doing the off-season activities. Let's listen to what he said exactly, because I butchered probably every single thing he said, and this is what he actually said.
Once you win the Super Bowl, I feel like even to another extreme, like when you don't win it, it sucks even more, because you experience the off season of being able to say you're the champ, and you experience
his voice getting a little more Kermit
things and activities you're able to do because you're a Super Bowl champ, and you experience the feeling of just winning the Super Bowl. And so for us, I'll speak for myself. I mean, when you don't win it now, it sucks, because you know what it could be like if you were to go out there and win it.
Mike, it's addicting. Like, winning is addicting. Winning that Super Bowl's got to be addicting. They're like little crackheads out there.
I envy Patrick Mahomes.
If they don't get it this time, they're going to be Jones. They're going to be itching, man.
They're jonesing, but I envy him. Why? Because ever since he's been a Chief, they've been winners. They've went to AFC Championship games. They're going to Super Bowls. They didn't win all the Super Bowls, but I mean, come on. Offensive line trouble, a lot of bad calls there. Got that Tampa Bay game just out of control really quick. Yep. He was just left out there to just by himself. Tyreek Hill, the $30 million wide receivers, letting it bounce off his face mask. They couldn't catch a cold.
That was Darrell Williams, but Tyreek Hill dropped his fair share, too.
Tyreek did another one, too. So there was some bad stuff, but I envy Mahomes, because since he's been associated with the Chiefs, and since the Chiefs have meant so much to him, it's nothing but winning because of him. But the Chiefs have meant everything in the world to me for as long as I can remember. We're going on 40 years, daggone it. And you know what? We wasn't always winning Super Bowls. It did suck, Patrick. Welcome to the show, baby. It sucked balls is what it sucked, okay?
Absolutely,
I don't want to go back to it. So keep winning,
Mike. We're just like the players. We're getting addicted to this winning thing.
We're addicted to being winners. I'm tired. We were losers all the time. Like, I will say this though: the Chiefs to be Super Bowl droughts and always getting to the playoffs and laying the freaking egg or getting Lynn Elliott cursed. we did win a lot of games in the 90s. I want to say we were probably one of the most winningest teams, if not the winningest team in the entire 90s. And by the way, when we had Dick Vermeil and Trick Green and Priest Holmes, we won a lot of games those years. So we've always won games. But Mahomes is just turned it up to 11, you know? Just crank it up to 11 here. Let's get it.
Dude, it's just a completely different thing now. Like, obviously, you loved Chiefs football. We watched it religiously. We went to games, like just like we do now. But that was with, like, Todd Haley coaching Tyler Palco, and it was pathetic and sad.
Well, those were some bad years. The the Fire Pioli with the bags over the heads and the flying stuff over the stadium. I don't want to have to ever endure that again.
We're not going back, Mike. I refuse.
That's why I said drafting Patrick Mahomes set this franchise over the edge. Like, I'll firmly believe that could be the greatest pick of all time. But it goes very unnoticed that in the year 2013 offseason, we hired a guy named Big Red. And he come in, and I think he started it. He just nudged it. He said, look, I'm going to teach you how to win. Big Red's the man.
You know what Big Red is? He's the greatest.
The greatest.
The greatest.
I remember when Pops told me, I was sitting at Roosters one time having a chicken wing. And I wrote him and I said, Pops, I feel it in my loins today. I said, the Chiefs are going to announce that they're about to sign Andy Reid. And he wrote me back. I've still got the text message probably from 15 years ago. And this guy says, oh, come on. There ain't no way they're going to make a good hire. And that's how you know. That's how you know that you were
down bad
Chiefs fan.
Yeah, you were down bad.
That's when you know you were a real one. When you're like, come on, they ain't going to do nothing good.
The funny thing is that same mentality Pop still presents today just out of pure PTSD.
Some of the older guys can't get over it.
Yeah, and I get it. I understand it.
Steve, even to this day, we're waiting for the shoe to drop. The other one. We're like, come on, don't do it. We're just bouncing on one leg, trying to get that win.
K. Wayne in the house, he says, dude, watching Marty build a great defense but never put it all together was tough. Wasn't it, though? And you're like, man, it's just that whole like.
But Marty, he'd go up 3-0. He'd kick the field goal on the first drive of the game, and then he'd decide to shut it down and just run the ball the rest of the time and play clock control with that defense. And look, they were a great defense, but you ain't gonna be that good.
Right, you're not gonna hold an NFL team to a goose egg every game.
Gamer player, goose egg everybody.
Gamer player said loved Marty, but no offense every week was painful. Absolutely. We had Super Bowl teams then if we just had a little offense. Totally agree.
Look, if we had those Marty teams with the Vermeil offensive teams, the Al Saunders offensive teams, man, that'd have been nice.
I feel like they always had like one part, like one piece of the puzzle. They never could just get it all together. And, even all the way up until Patrick Mahomes, I feel like he was the final piece of the puzzle, obviously, because I think Alex Smith had them at the cusp of actually doing something. But I don't know if Alex would have ever been actually able to get them over the hump. We'll never know. But Patrick Mahomes came in.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that year they blew that to Andrew Luck.
I think they could have won that.
I think they could have won the Super Bowl that year. We were a decent team, like all around. And the way that they played in the first half of that Colts game, the defense was just shutting down Andrew Luck and that high-powered offense, and they were looking good. And then it just fell apart. And that come back to the old curse,
Yeah.
Just Chiefs will Chief. That's what it was.
I don't know if he would ever get over that hump or not. We'll never know. Enrique with the 5 bomb. He says, let's go 20-0. It has begun.
Let's go.
The 20-0s are hot and rolling right now, Mike. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can they run the table? You have to think like
I don't think so. I think it's a little like I love it. I want them to, and I want to say it.
That's a task, dude.
Yeah, the 20-0 in this league is tough, man. Like I'm almost positive you could put Justin Jefferson on this team. You could get Aaron Donald out of retirement. You can bring over Max Crosby, and there would be a random game where something would just go wrong, or the NFL would have their little flags ready to throw. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so tough.
Right, like I think Alex Smith was still the quarterback then as Andy Reid when we played Pittsburgh in the playoffs, and they called that crappy holding call on Fish on the 2-point conversion.
Against the Steelers.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. Yeah, Kelsey called, I think he was talking bad about Cheffers. That's what started the Cheffers feud.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, the league...
Appreciate the 5, Enrique.
It's not rigged, but boy, they can sway some games sometimes with some opportune... interpretive calls, and that's why we don't like setting up more interpretative opportunities for them.
Right. Man, speaking of Max Crosby, have you seen where all of Raiders Nation or whatever they call themselves are literally out. Like they hate him because he endorsed Donald Trump for president. So they all hate him now. And I'm like, hey, keep hating him. Bring that guy over here. Come on. Come show them why they need to shut up. Max Crosby. We'll take him. If y'all don't want him, we'll take him.
I would think,
come on.
Back in the 80s and stuff when they said there was going to be flying cars and all kinds of trash, like that. You'd think in the year 2024, we'd be a much more civilized civilization to where we could honestly just be like, hey,
it's crazy.
You don't like that guy or you don't do this. Like, we're cool. Like, but
you like him. I don't like him, but you do. That's okay.
Dude, I feel like right now,
what's
I've got
happening?
Look, if I was on the side of the road and, had a flat tire, I would think somebody make me fill out a political survey, see if it'd help me or not.
It's a possibility.
Like, it's getting bad. It's
Mike,
getting bad, man.
Check it out. Cobra Kai Ty in the house.
Cobra
What's
Kai's
up,
in the
my
house.
man? Says, what's up, fam? Finally got a chance to hop on for a bit. Sorry, I can't read, Ty. He said, hope everyone is doing well. And damn, is it August 7th yet? So ready for Crew Year 2, baby. Yeah, it's going to be a good time. Be good to see everybody again.
I can't.
Mike,
I'm fired up for Chew with the Crew, too.
Ty, awesome. You've been a member for a whole year now. That's freaking awesome. All kinds of support from you. You've been awesome. But what's he speaking of there, Mike? Is he speaking about this?
He's speaking
Chew
of
with the
this.
Crew?
Yeah, he is. Dude, August
Part
7th.
due.
Part
Yep.
due. 7th, 7 to 9 p.m. at Zarda in Blue Springs. Get horned up. Get fired up. I already called him. It's good to go, Steve. We've got the back room all reserved. And I said, look, last year you guys had to cater camp, and you kicked us out at the last minute. But I said, if you do, we'll take that same little spot in the back room because it was pretty sweet as well. And the lady on the phone assured me it would not happen again. And I said, look, if Mahomes needs burn-ins, get that boy some burn-ins.
Yeah.
We're
okay with
We'll
that.
set in the parking lot if you got to feed the Chiefs, okay? Like anything to get a dub out here.
If that's what you need to do,
That's what you
go
need to
ahead
do,
and freaking do it.
I'll help
Yeah.
you prepare them if you need
Absolutely.
to. Let's go with it.
Let's go. And then we got Ty with the freaking 50 bomb. Ty, let's freaking
Up
go,
in
brother.
the house today, gassing
Mike.
it up.
He is gassing up, literally. He said throwing in a fuel dono for the trip to KC.
Woo.
Man,
Ty, that freaking helps, bro, because that might take care of the gas the whole way. Look at
Let's
this.
go.
Look at Ty just out here just killing it today with that 50 bomb.
Mike,
Legendary.
that makes him the top dono, so you might want to put that in.
I was about ready to go do that.
But yeah, appreciate the 50, Ty. And yeah, what should we use the $50 on if we rent a Tesla and don't buy gas?
Well, I already got a rental car set up, and it's not a Tesla, so we're going to be doing gas.
All right, it's going to gas.
It's going to gas. It looks like we're just don't have a pipe dream here of doing something crazy. It's not happening.
No, appreciate you, though. That helps out a lot, Ty. And it'll be good to see you again, my man. Top dono, though. If you guys don't know, the top dono, or actually top donor, I should say, because they all add up. But whoever donates the most during a live stream always gets a mystery gift from us.
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
ship it out to that person after every live stream. So we've been doing that for a couple weeks now. It's pretty fun.
They've also, Blue Chew said they're going to throw us out some Blue Chew. So if you donate over 100, you get a whole month's supply of the Blue Chew. Just kidding. Don't do it.
We have landed one sponsorship for this season coming up. Actually,
We have.
So that's huge for us, and that helps as well. But it's not Blue Chew, and that makes me a little sad.
It's not Blue Chew and it's not Prime. Those were the first two I thought would have come calling. Maybe even Mountain Dew because the Dew brothers. But no, nay. Just couldn't get it together. But we still got some time.
Let's do it. Melissa, I see you in here. I swear we're going to email you soon. We're going to talk about it tonight, actually. And we'll give you.
Well, we kind of talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we didn't plan out everything. So
Let's get that together. I'll email you. I promise we won't put you off too much longer because we appreciate the invitation, by the way. That's freaking awesome. Shane in the house. So what's up, my boys?
Shane.
Looking forward to seeing you at the Crew as well, Shane. Always a good time. Details. Mike just went over it. It'd be August 7th, 7 p.m. Central Time at Zarda in Blue Springs. So be there, my man.
Shane. I remember seeing Shane last year. Him and his girlfriend showed up. I forgot her name. Now, look, if she watches the show, don't take offense to it, Shane's lady.
It was Rachel, man.
Are you making that up?
No, I remember things.
If you're right, if
Mike,
it's really Rachel, I feel horrible.
Mike, I care about the people here.
Or did you read that in the chat somewhere?
No.
If I go through this chat and he told somebody his girlfriend's name Rachel, I'm about to
Why would
mute
he
you.
say that? Why would he ever say, hey, guess what? My girlfriend's name's Rachel.
I don't know. Why would he ever say it, Steve? You lied to your boy straight up.
I did not. I didn't read that.
You did.
I
Tell
didn't.
Rachel we're ready to see Rachel. We're ready to see Shane. We're ready to see everybody. And we're going to just get buck wild with it. And by the way, we're going to have more posters and stuff to give you guys if we can get them designed and ordered in time. So we're trying our best.
I'm going to put the finishing touches on those bad boys tonight.
Let's go.
So we'll get it. We got this. I need to quit hitting my camera over here. It's not good.
Let's punch it.
What did that say? Someone said $50. There's all kinds of $50 jokes going on here. Ray, you're not wrong here, though. We might be able to get a Happy Meal with that $50.
Hey, man. You know, you start talking about Mickey D's, and I had to bring up something. Have you guys tried the new, let me know in the chat, have you guys tried the new limited edition Nug sauce? It's called like something garlic. And apparently you can only get it if you order nuggets on the app and go pick it up. They won't even give
I've
it to you
seen
in
it
the
on
store.
there, but I have not tried it, no.
So look, this is what I did. I ordered some nugs. I go there. I'm ready to get this garlic sauce and try it out. The dude brings it to the car, and he says, sir. And I said, yes. And he said, would you like any sauces? And I said, yeah, I wanted the garlic one. And he said, we're out of it. Would you like ranch? And I said, I just paid like $8 for nuggets because I wanted to try the garlic sauce, and you don't even give it to me? I wanted a refund, but you know what I did? I put the nuggets in the air fryer the next day, and I ate it anyway.
Take your nuggets back.
Take your nuggets back. The sauce was pretty legit, though. I'll say that.
Jeremiah said, thanks for his Arrowhead 10. At least we know his packages are getting to him nowadays.
Oh, good deal, good deal. Dude, I can't keep up with what I send out to anybody. And by the way, Iron Price, if you're in here, I still got your stuff to send out. And I finally got your address. I just haven't got a chance to get to the post, baby.
I thought you were going to blame him again. Julia
No.
says, can't wait to see what Kingsley looks like against Karloftis.
Karloftis is going to eat his lunch. For just a little while, he's going to eat his lunch.
Hey, at least he'll have good competition at camp to get up to speed, man.
Look, I know who's going to be horned up for Karloftis just destroying Kingsley. That's Brian Perry, baby.
Well, let me think. Karloftis tends to come off the left side a lot, though.
Yeah,
Which
he'll
is the
go
right
up against
side.
Jawan a lot. So he won't get to face O'Menahue.
Felix,
So-
there'll be a lot of Felix.
So, okay, look, so he's got a shot against Felix. Look, if Felix can't beat Kingsley right off the rip, and maybe even Wanye for that matter, because Wanye, I mean, he was serviceable to good, but he wasn't exactly great. If he can't start beating these guys in camp, then we start like saying, Felix, come on, buddy, you're making me nervous. You're making me a little nervous, Felix.
That'll
Get
be
it
good.
together, baby.
That'll be good for both of those guys. That'll be good, healthy camp competition right there. Nikki says, have you thought about doing a Zoom call from the Chew with the crew? So should we have like a little live feed going of the whole event where people can just stop in virtually?
What if you just done a live stream from the back and just put like a camera, just, you know, you don't hear anything or see anything hardly except for ambient noise, but then randomly anybody can just walk up and say, what's up, Chew with the crew? This is Brian Parrott. This is Kay Wayne.
We would have to do it on a different platform because somebody gets demonetized.
Oh, yeah, straight up.
From YouTube. Somebody gonna go up and put their balls on the camera or something like
Look,
that.
no balls. Don't get out a guitar and start doing a cover of John Mayer.
Some
it ain't gonna
slap
happen.
nut. Some slap nut out there is gonna do it, Mike.
Hey, that would be kind of fun. Like just, you know, like when the Chiefs and them do those videos where they just put the camera there with the question and they walk up and they're like, what's your favorite, you know, food to eat before bed? And they're like,
That would be fun. Okay, maybe we'll do that. Maybe it won't be a live stream. But maybe we'll have the camera where everybody can go up and
we
say
can
what-
ask them we'll put a question up and you come to
later.
the thing and answer
Later,
it.
I'll grab the footage. I'll edit it down to condense it.
That
and put
could
it
be
on.
kind of fun. We'll make a short out of it, or maybe multiple shorts, part 1 through 77. I don't know.
I think that could be a fun thing.
like
Gamer
it.
Player says, your opinion, are we saving our cap money for Creed, Smith, and Bolton? Yes, I do think there's something to that. I think there's like 12 to 15 million, somewhere in that range. And me and you, Mike, we talked about this either one of the live streams or a video we just did. And you mentioned that you think that they are going to go ahead and try to restructure some of these guys.
It's very possible. I mean, you've got a little bit of cap money now. I think what Brett's going to do is he's going to wait around camp and make sure we don't have any kind of injuries. You know what I mean? Because if you got an injury in a position where you got to go out and snag somebody, you need some assurance, some insurance and assurance. Plus, you've got random camp casualties. So maybe Brett's got his eye on somebody from the 2021 draft, and they up and get cut. He may bring them in. You might need a little bit of money for that. Once it gets to the season, I do believe they may start talking. Now, I think Bolton's already come out and said that he doesn't want to talk contract during the year. He just wants to play.
I love it. Got to respect it.
And look, I'm sure Creed and Trey Smith are like that as well. But if the opportunity presents itself, I think any of them would negotiate during the season. A lot of people in Chiefs Kingdom, it's become the cool thing to just trash Nick Bolton out. Like, they just...
What is wrong? Like
they act like Drew Tranquill's the best quarterback, the best linebacker on the team. And I'm thinking, look, there's statistic-wise sometimes that can back a Drew Tranquill. And then there are things that coaches and everybody in football players look for, and that tends to be Bolton a lot.
When is the last time that Drew Tranquill was the league leader in tackles?
I don't know. He didn't do it with the Chargers, did he?
No, not even close. Like, I don't know.
Sure.
We can't even talk about stats here. I told you this earlier. Me and Mike had, had to meet up.
Drew Tranquill, but daggone.
Right, that's crazy.
The
Me and Mike
slander is out of control.
We met up earlier, doing some work, had a little meeting, and I just happened to see a tweet on X while we were together, and I was like, dude, what is up with this small portion of Chiefs Kingdom? A lot of them work for one network.
Oh, yeah. There's one network that's just a bunch of Bolton haters.
Well,
and believe me.
They're ass anyway. But
I don't even watch it because I'm like, why?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an opinion that's that bad.
If your opinion is Nick Bolton can't play football, I'm not getting any other football opinions from you.
Yeah, but like, what is the deal? Like, what did Nick Bolton do to somebody? Like, because this guy's played like so well and been awesome, and I don't know. The slander is just unwarranted. But anyway,
well, they just think he's not a top 10. He shouldn't get paid the big money. It's a position that you can kind of go to the draft, or you can serviceably get a free agent, and they'll come in and do the same kinds of things. But it's like, well, you're taking the green dot out, and I know Drew Tranquill can do it too. And Drew Tranquill's a great football player, hell of a football player. But, dude, I just like Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton's been integral in us winning some big games. He shut down Derrick Henry single-handedly. He is flat out.
He's Derrick Henry's daddy.
He destroyed the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Like, he was one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, we beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Him and probably that Kadarius Toney punt return. So, I don't know, man. I don't like the slander on our boy. But, Steve, if you had to rank it, like if you're Brett Veach, Creed, Smith, and Bolton, put them in order. What's your one? Who's the first guy you got to get, and who's probably your third guy? And then let's say one of them may have to get cut. Which one would you sadly say, hey, man, we just can't get it done? It sounds like you're taking Bolton.
Well, I think there's an argument that you can replace all of those positions through the draft fairly easy compared to like skills players or left tackle, like something like that. But here's my argument. And before I know, it could go a lot of different ways for me, but just for the sake of this argument, I'm going to say Nick Bolton, and with the reason being that he literally is your green dot, like he's running your defense.
So he's your number one guy you would try to re-sign if you're Brett Veach.
If you're putting it up between the three, Creed, Trey Smith, and Nick Bolton, I'm going Nick Bolton, and the reasoning was he's the green dot, he's running the defense. Him and Spags have a great relationship. He trusts him. I think that would be more detrimental to the team to lose something like that than to lose a guard. I mean, I love Trey Smith. Don't get me wrong. I love Creed Humphrey. And I'm not saying that there's no value to their position, but
So if you had to pick, who are you taking, Creed or Trey? Like, which one do you think you could replace? Which one do you think's got more faults? I mean, it's nitpicking. It's nitpicking.
Honestly,
let's be honest.
Honestly, I think it's going to come down to who gives the better contract.
The deal? Yeah, who gives the better deal?
Like, because if somebody chases money a lot, like let's say for instance, Creed Humphrey's trying to get more money than the Chiefs are comfortable paying him. They just drafted Hunter Norzad. Do you think they're going to care if Creed goes somewhere else? If you look at the Chiefs' past, they treat centers about like they treat cornerbacks. Mitch Morse
centers
was
are
good.
Kind of replaceable, and I'll tell you why. Because we're the Chiefs pick in the draft every year. You can just about snag the best center on the board in the first round if you need to.
Yeah, they could have got one this year.
And technically, you don't need to do that. No. But yeah, I'm with you. Hunter Norzad, but C.J. Hansen looks good. He's a guard. We have a few guys.
I'm not a fan of losing any of those three, by the way.
No, I don't want to lose any of them either. That was just a hypothetical. But to get these guys, look, a lot of people are wanting us to sign certain players, and I believe you start digging into that $15 million that we got right now in the tank. I believe you may start losing some of these guys if you start digging into that 15.
It's a possibility, Mike. We got our boy Flapjack in the house.
Can you feel it?
He said, "Can you feel it, Mike?" I don't know. Can you feel it?
I can feel it all the way down in my plums, getting all swollen, with a light blue hue to them, fresh and juicy, ready for the picking. Ooh. Hey, that plum looks good. Can I trade it for your Twinkie? Let the juice spill down my chin.
No.
You know what I mean?
Oh, can you feel it, baby?
Let's go. I feel it in my plums, Steve. I'm ready for it. Hey, by the way, has anybody played the new NCAA football game? Steve, have you played it? I don't play PS4 or Xbox anywhere religiously anymore. And I think they're actually on PS5.
They're on PS5.
But who could get one? I think they were like sold out for like 4 straight
years. You can get them now.
Okay. But I haven't.
But
I kind of wonder if it's going to be like the old school one.
Maybe a little bit. We got a 10 bomb from Ty. Says, quick reminders to hit the like button, fam. Only at 69 and over 120 people in here. Help the guys out and subscribe. Getting closer on to 40,000 subs. Appreciate you, Ty. But yeah, guys, if you haven't hit the like button yet, please go do that. It's kind of the down part of the year. Like it's been a grind on YouTube in the off season, man. Like, so appreciate every one of you guys that are here tonight, because there's a lot of people that check out during the off season. Like,
checking out, and look, there's a lot. Me and Steve talked about it today. There's a big chunk of Chiefs Kingdom that does not like to just watch different things. Like we had the naming Mahomes baby video the other day, and it was one of the worst videos we've ever released according to analytics. It said not a single person wanted to click it. And they actually pointed to our subs. And they said, your subs don't even freaking like it. You think I'm going to show it to somebody else? And I said, how dare you subscribers? But anyways, people don't. I mean, they'd rather talk about Kadarius Toney 400 times than talk about Patrick Mahomes' possible baby name once.
Right now, if you haven't seen the thumbnail to this live stream, but basically just throw Rees Zammit on something. I feel like Chiefs Kingdom as a whole, especially like the YouTube crowd, are very addicted to Rees Zammit right now.
Zammit is last year's Justin Ross.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Is that a good sign or not? Because Justin Ross, I mean, he made the team, then he got into some trouble. He didn't really pan out, and he could be gone this year. It's kind of scary.
I don't know, man.
I don't think Zammit's in that boat.
I don't think Zammit's the type that would let anything like that get to his head. I think he's in a good spot. He knows he has a long way to go. And like Mahomes said in the interview with Rob Riggle, he's putting in the freaking work. Like, he's working hard. So I'm not worried about him being like getting left behind for any reason other than he just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's going to put in 100%.
Hey, I love Rob Riggle. I wish Rob Riggle, if you're watching this, because why? You've got your own podcast now, and you're on YouTube.
Let's team up, boy.
So look, you're probably going to see us at some point. You're going to say, who's these idiots out here throwing these numbers around? We're just your boys from Kentucky, baby. And we're the Chief-loving fools out here. Okay, let me tell you something. I've got a perfect idea for an intro for Rob Riggle, and they've missed the mark. Do you remember the song that said, wiggle, 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 dun-dun-dun-dun.
Get out of here.
He needs the wriggle, wriggle, wriggle. Come on, it's a perfect intro, man.
Onward. Now he's not watching anymore. Got a 5 bomb from Jeremiah.
Call me, baby.
He said, is it possible that KT and Sky Moore is fighting for that last wide receiver spot on the roster? Absolutely. I think that's definitely a thing. Now, is it 100%? I have no idea. But I think both of them are kind of scratching and clawing to make the roster this year, the way it's kind of panned out, Mike, because, we've had this conversation a lot in the offseason during the dead time, but you have 3 receivers right now on the team that are absolutely 100% on the team. Like,
look, I was saying the whole time that there was a 4th. And
you were saying
said,
Justin
Mike,
Watson.
You suck. They were like, there's no way he's... And now, over the past week or two, it's become a thing that Justin Watson
whoa. It's not. I just think that his cousin was on one of our videos, left like four comments just praising Justin Watson.
Was it just his cousin?
Dude, it had to be. Somebody was just really hardcore.
I've been seeing a lot of people, though, say that they think Justin Watson's probably a lock. For the reasons we said it. Mahomes is comfortable with him. He can play the X. He's big. He's fast.
I honestly don't think there is a lock besides those 3 right now. I think it could go a lot of different ways. If they go 6, there's 3 spots left. That's it. So, you're looking – everyone outside of Worthy, Brown, and Rice is literally trying to get 3 spots.
They're all on the block, that's for sure, right? They're about to get –
They could take 7 again. It's a possibility. I would rather them not. If they're going to try to run them like a hockey team. But, if they do it...
maybe since you get to start Omenihu on the pup, right? He don't count against the 53. You think maybe they initially take 7? And then once he gets back, they're like, look, these are the guys that looked better. It's just kind of an extended training camp.
Well, yeah,
if you
I mean,
will.
that definitely will do things like that. They'll take advantage of those situations. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
You know what KT and Sky Moore's dynamic duo's nickname should be?
What?
Slap nut. One's a slap and one's a nut. Get it together.
Man,
Get it
it's
the frickin'
crazy,
together.
dude. Those two, appreciate the 5, Jeremiah, and Ty for the 10.
Appreciate you guys.
But man, I those two drive me insane because I do feel like both of them can be good football players. Like I wish
Put
they
all
would
their
just
talent together into one player. It could be the greatest player ever.
I feel like there's two. I feel like there's like they're kind of the opposite in a way. Like don't get me wrong, Sky Moore is a good athlete. He had a good RAS score. He's fast, very very quick in small space, which is what you want from a slot receiver or something like that. But it's like I don't think he has like the God-given abilities that KT does. Like Kadarius
One was
Toney
recruited by the SEC and one wasn't. So
Right,
there's your
well-
first indication.
Right, but I mean, Kadarius Toney, by all means, just has God-given talent. Like the kid is an insane athlete, but the difference is like I feel like he don't really care that much, and he's just that guy. He's got the talent, but he's not putting in the work. Which don't. I'm not saying he don't work because I don't know what he does behind the scenes. I don't see what Kadarius
Right.
Toney does every day. But from our perspective, it looks like he don't work at it nearly as much as Sky, who's over there been busting ass and been like, basically, if you go to his Instagram or anything like that, he's putting in the work.
So what you're saying is,
So it's like-
if you could take a little bit of Sky Moore's motivation and brain and just give it to KT in exchange for a little bit more
I
athletic
don't even know
ability.
about the brain. I just think it's
It's
the
not the
work
brain,
ethic.
but like the
Yeah.
mental toughness, the mental fortitude to get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe if you can just swap those out just a little bit. If they could just each give each
Can
other
we
just a
just-
little something.
Put them together, make a freaking Frankenstein out of them, put them on there as the 6th wide receiver.
Should they just touch?
What
see
is
if they-
name? What do you go with for a name there? Do you go Sky Toney or do you go Kadarius Moore? Which one would you go with?
Skyny.
Skyny? I don't like it. Is he just going to have one name?
Yeah.
Can he just be a symbol like Prince did there for a while?
Sky Toe. It sounds like a Native American chief. Prince Sky. Wait, they're not princes. I don't even. Chief Sky Toe. I
right,
love it.
Mike.
It's insane, baby.
We're done with this conversation.
Come on.
Michael, what's up, Michael? Good to see you. He says most interesting camp battle, running back. Want to see Steele blow up. So I think that's a common sentiment, Michael. I think this is another camp darling kind of guy. People are really going to keep an eye on Carson Steele. People like him. They like his personality. And I feel like Chiefs Kingdom, they always have that like underdog. They want to root for the little guy. They want to root for the UDFAs. So I think that they always find a UDFA or two and really latch on. And I think he's the guy this year, much like Nico was last year, and Nico is going to be again this year.
Yeah, I think it's Nico and Crocky still, and then Rees Zammit. That's your three. I think that's going to just horn people up.
Yeah. But very interesting situation there, Michael, because the way it is, we've talked about this too, but they literally have Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's going to get the bulk of the work. There's not really a solid 3. And if they decide to go 4 like they have been, there's definitely no solid 4. So, and then also with Steele, are they going to go fullback? Are they going to put a fullback back in the mix? Much to the disdain of Kyle Juszczyk, who thinks he's the only and greatest fullback of all time.
Yeah.
But no.
Why you no pay me?
Do they go back fullback, or does Carson still have to get a running back position? Is LRZ going to be listed as a running back? Like, there's just a lot of
Oh, yeah, he
questions.
is.
A lot of questions that are going to get answered right here in camp. So
I think Deneric Prince and Keontae Ingram is a battle people's overlooking. I think one of
think
those
so?
two might get on the team.
that's a possibility. Absolutely. Kay Wayne says the player formerly known as Sky. I like it. That's what we're going to go with. That's going to be the
He
Frankenstein.
needs a rebirth, doesn't he? Shed Sky Moore. Like, look, he's like a snake. Like, shed the skin, cocoon yourself. I said he's like a snake. Now he's like a butterfly. Cocoon into a new player, and just do something good this year.
I don't want to get back on that whole conversation because we've had it a lot extensively. But like, we always say that like Sky Moore has a certain skill set. He'd be a really good just slot receiver. Like, he's not as diverse as like Andy likes his wide receivers to be. But like, let's look at it from Sky's perspective, Mike. What would you do if you were him? Like, do you just work hard at trying to be more diverse and to do more things that Andy is requiring of you? Do you go to the coaching staff and be like, hey, I think I can be a valuable asset, but here's my weaknesses and here's my strengths? Like, how does he approach it? Like, what do you think he does it from his end? How can he make the situation better?
Doing what he's doing, I think. I feel like he's working hard. He's always had we've always admired the way Sky Moore has handled criticism and some failures to this point. He's always addressed it head on, and he's took responsibility and said, hey, I got to get better. He said that. He's never been the kind, like Kadarius kind of throws out the excuse here and there, right? Even
Right.
MBS. It was everybody. Somebody shined a light in his eye. And
MVS is a
he
loser.
accidentally looked at the sun too long at noon yesterday, and it caused a black spot. Who knows? This guy was coming up with everything. The Breeze. They call him the Breeze. I just think Sky's got to get a little better, and he knows it, and he's just got to keep working. Now, here's another thing, too. Sky in the NFL, I do believe, should just be primarily a slot guy. Like, I think that's where he does his best work and where he should win in this league. And I thought he did that a lot in college. And I have made it my goal. I have watched so much Sky Moore film over the past 2 months.
You trying to find like the hidden link there? Like, what's the disconnect?
Look, I'm the wide receiver whisperer. And I said, what is Sky Moore doing? Where would I put Sky Moore into this draft class this year? And I actually had Sky Moore. If I would have rated this draft class this year, Sky Moore was my number 16 wide receiver. If I compared what I just seen from him in college,
16 now,
he would have been number 16 in this class based on what I seen on film.
Now, which is weird because if you go back to his last year in college, he actually led the entire NCAA in a lot of stats.
Yes, and the thing that I seen, and that is really weird, is that we always associate Sky with a slot. When he was at Central Michigan, was it Western Michigan? Yeah, Western Michigan.
Yeah,
when he was at Western Michigan, he did not just play primarily in the slot. Like, he actually did a lot of good things on the outside. And I think Andy and them thought he was going to come to the NFL and do that.
I think they have to understand the competition level of Western Michigan to the NFL.
Well, I think they get it. The fans don't.
I mean, I don't think that Sky Moore, just because he could play good on the outside against, that kind of competition, that he could come to the NFL and do it. But I do think that he could be a really good, slot receiver. He's very, very, I think the best thing that he does is how quick he is in small space. Like that kind of yak ability. Get on the ball quick, let him work. That's what Tyreek Hill did early on. I think that's something that Sky Moore would be good at, but they're not going to let him just do one thing, man.
Right.
They're not going to do
it. Just for reference, you said 15 or 16. What did I say? He was 16 on my board.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
My number 13 on my board was Roman Wilson, which we said is kind of like Sky Moore in a way.
I think they're very similar. It'd be hard for me to have a gap between those two.
Number 14 was Malachi Corley.
Same.
Yeah, we said he was pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And number 15 was Jalen McMillan, and 16 was Devontae Walker, the dropper out of UNC.
I'll tell you this.
That's exactly about where I put him.
I would slot him in right behind Roman. I think Roman is maybe more versatile. Now, if you go onward to, like you said, Malachi Corley and all that, I think Sky's just good or better than Malachi Corley. Because they're essentially, they're going to do the same things for you, right? But I wanted to check this comment out real quick, if I can find it. I keep losing it. Health Hacker says Tony is a lock to make this team. There is no way the Chiefs are trading or cutting him. Well, so here's the thing, Health Hacker. I kind of agree with you. And I really I know a lot of our fan base does not agree with this when I say it or when you say it, but it makes absolutely zero damn sense to cut Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore. They're both high ceiling guys, and they're paying them next to nothing. They're on their rookie contracts. I just don't think they're going to cut them. I really don't. And using that logic, Mike, if Health Hacker's correct and Tony's a lock, and then by using that logic, Sky's a lock, that's 5 receivers that are a lock. Who's 6? Who's 7? If they save and reserve a spot for Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore, who's
they would be 4 and 5 then, right?
Right. What do you got for 6? And
6 and 7 would have to be
Justin Ross, McCole Hardman. Or not Justin Ross, but Justin Watson?
I think it's Watson.
That's what I meant.
I would take Justin Watson over McCole Hardman. Would you? Let's be honest. Would you take Justin Watson over McCole Hardman or McCole Hardman over Justin Watson? And believe me, I don't think there's a wrong answer.
I don't either. I think it's
Or
pick
a
your
right
poison
answer.
there.
Let's say that. I don't think there's a right answer. I think you're splitting hairs. But honestly,
I think like Justin Watson is more of a bailout kind of guy. Like Mahomes he'll catch some decent third down passes, like get you the first down, like at clutch moments. But I've seen him drop a lot too.
then McCole can sometimes be that gadget, that red zone threat, that spark.
That one's
but
tough.
don't you have enough of those in a way? You may have enough of those to where you may favor the 6'2", 210-pound guy that can run the 4.3 or whatever he runs.
To me, I don't care either way.
But who's on the out no matter what? It's seeming like Justin Ross is on the out.
Nico
sadly.
Remigio. I don't know. I think Nico could still try to
Man, I'd love
sneak
to get
on.
Nico in here.
We'll see. We'll see how he does this year. Chelsea says, will you ever react to LRZ rugby highlights?
That's a good idea.
I mean, we never thought about it, but, I mean, we might look at some. It'd be interesting just to see. Like, I have watched some of his rugby highlights just to get an idea of what kind of athlete he is. And I do see what the coaches and everybody else is seeing.
He's fast.
Yeah, he's fast.
That dude's blazing.
He has very good field vision, too. I think that's going to come into play.
Steve, imagine a day that you sit in traffic, and there's a lot of traffic, and you just had a little Taco Bell, and you feel the stomach gurgling, and you're sitting in traffic, and you're clenched for like 25 minutes, and you don't think you're going to make it, but then you pull into the house, and you run up the driveway. LRZ's that fast all the time. Just think about it. That's how fast he is.
Maybe he always has to poop, bro. I don't know. Gabriel Player says that he bets that we're going to be talking about trading Sky Moore halfway through the season. What do you think, Mike?
I mean, we could. If the Chiefs make it known that he's on the trade block, I guess we got to talk about it. Would I say to do it? I don't think so.
I don't know if there's anything to gain from him at this point. Like, I feel like he's got to come around more.
Well, if you get halfway through the season and you guys are still wanting to trade him, what's his trade value? Because he obviously didn't get it together then.
Yeah.
I think you'd have more trade value with him right now going into his third year fresh. You may get a team like Dallas or somebody to bite that kind of needs somebody that can throw in the slot and just pepper with 6-7 targets a game. He's just not going to get that in KC. Mahomes doesn't like to do that a lot. Mahomes does not pepper receivers like Tom Brady ever did his slot receiver. He never did that the way Peyton Manning would do that. There were certain quarterbacks that just peppered certain receivers, and where they were going on 70% of the plays. And to a certain degree, you can say Kelsey, but he doesn't do it with receivers. So I don't know if Sky's ever going to get that slot use here, which is why me and Steve always say that maybe if you get a team that will do that,
he could be valuable.
Maybe maybe Scott could be valuable somewhere else.
Like, could you imagine Sky Moore back with the Patriots and Tom Brady, like the Edelman years and all that? Like, that's the kind of receiver you could literally just pepper him.
Especially when his average route ran is about 4 to 5 yards. That was perfect for an Edelman row. His average separation 6 feet.
He caused more missed tackles his last year of college than anybody in the entire NCAA.
Right. So I mean, there's a lot of things to like about Sky. I just feel like they're not embraced.
Well, can I just say this real quick, and we'll get off the Sky More subject, and we'll go to talk about KT. I honestly think the reason why that you haven't seen anything good from Sky is because we've got very limited footage or anything to go by of Sky with the ball in his hand as a Chief. Like, it's very limited.
Do you remember last year when there were certain games where we were like, would they just get Sky the ball quicker? And they did that a few times
and it
last
worked.
year. I can think against Denver.
There was a couple screen passes. He was getting 10 yards, 14 yards, and it's like, that's what he does.
Yeah, he was getting 2 or 3 yard catches and turning them into 7 and 8 yard gains. And he was doing that. He'd done that probably 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And in the Jacksonville game, he got behind the defense that one time.
He's not the guy that's going to run an out route and catch a pass over somebody. It's never going to happen. Like, he's not going to.
He's not built like that.
They're going to put him on a post out there. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, he's going to be a screen guy. John Clifford said KT has got this year if he doesn't get his act together, or he is gone. Well, that's absolutely true, John Clifford, because he's on his contract year. So
I think John just means out of the whole NFL.
That's what I was getting ready to say. If you mean the whole NFL, then yeah, because if he doesn't get it together and act like he actually wants to be there, I don't know who really wants to take a shot on him. He's not going to get much of a contract, even if, that somebody decides to.
No, we've said that. Contract year's usually undefeated. But I think contract year's got a good chance this year with Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, what's the odds here that Kadarius Toney?
This may be like Joe Glass on Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. There might be the one win. Could be this year.
And if you've ever played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, the very first guy you fight, Joe Glass Joe or Joe Glass, whatever his name.
Joe, yeah, that's one of them.
He's only won one fight in his entire career.
He's
he lost
99.
And that one win came against Mike's girlfriend, Kayla.
1,000%.
Just so everybody knows.
She got knocked out by freaking Joe Glass.
Jay says Chiefs will capitalize on KT's contract year, then maybe trade him. Do you think that's the thing of like if Toney does come out and start performing in his contract year, do you think the Chiefs are like, we're not going to chance trying to re-sign this guy? Let's hawk him off.
Oh yeah, they could. You could say, hey guys,
look how good he is.
If you come grab him for maybe like a 6th-round pick, maybe you can sign him and extend him for cheap before he hits the market. You got that option.
Yeah,
very good possibility.
I see a lot of people in the chat. I know we're a little bit behind, but a lot of people were saying that they would take Watson over McCole. I think that you believe that, right? Like, don't you think that's
I
where
feel
you're
like
leaning?
in the pecking order, because they did not re-sign McCole last year. They let him walk, and they kept Justin Watson. So
yeah. I think that's kind of where I'm at with it too, and I know I've always thrown a little bit of shade at Hardman.
So I want the chat to tell me this: would you take McCole Hardman over Justin Ross, or Justin Ross over McCole Hardman if it come down to that one?
Yeah, put that in the chat.
That's a good one.
Mike Cole Dotson says finally made a live stream. Let's freaking go, Cole.
Let's go, Cole.
Good to see you, my man.
Let's go, Cole. Let's go.
Gary in the house. What's up, Gary? Appreciate you modding it up all the time, my man. Doing a great job.
Doing the Lord's work.
Mike and Steve, except Mahomes and Kelsey, who will have the best year this year? That's a good question.
I like that question.
Well, I know you might not have thought about this, Gary, but I'm going to go ahead and exclude Chris Jones as well.
So went my answer.
Yeah,
no,
so I'm going to exclude Chris Jones with Kelsey and Mahomes, unless he just meant offense. If we're going offense, who's going to have the best year, Mike? Let's just go that. Let's just go straight offense. Besides Mahomes and Kelsey, yeah. I think Rashee Rice.
I think it's Isaiah Pacheco. I think he hits 1,000 yards on the ground.
That'd be great.
He looks a little leaner. I think they're going to get him involved in the passing game a lot more this year. You don't really have that second. You don't have that Jerick McKinnon type guy. I mean, I know we got Clyde, but Clyde's not the best blocker in the world. So if it comes out that Clyde really can't handle blocking duties a lot, maybe he loses a lot of those 3rd down snaps to a guy like Pacheco, who can definitely play 3 downs. Yeah. So maybe he gets more passing game happy this year, and we see something from Pacheco. Steve, who would you think if it's the entire team?
Oh, counting defense?
Counting defense, too. You still going with Rashee Rice?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be Rashee Rice or Hollywood Brown 1. Depends on how that pans out. But I'm leaning towards Rashee Rice for offense. Defense, I think the best year for defense, or the best player for defense this year, I think McDuffie's going to have a huge year. Absolutely. He's going to be that guy everybody's jealous of this year. Everybody talked about Snead last year. It's going to be McDuffie. Other than that, man, I think Jamari Connor is primed to step up and have a breakout year because he looked really good last year.
I'm hoping Connor don't hit that sophomore slump and he kind of just builds.
Now, Josh Williams and or Jalen Watson have a good opportunity this year. So I think it'll be fun to see them.
Joshua. I think George is going to have a good year.
Karloff is good too, yes. Julia says 3 tight ends and 4 running backs, or 4 tight ends and 3 running backs.
I like 3 and 4.
Or. What about 3 tight ends, 3 running backs, and a fullback?
And a croc. They just might go ahead and put the fullback. They might put the RB on his name.
Yeah, it don't matter either way, does it? Yeah. It doesn't really matter.
So that's why I say I'd rather have 4 running backs, 3 tight ends. I don't think Irv Smith, to me, if you took look, if the Chiefs never had signed Irv Smith in the offseason, would anybody have given a rat's ass?
No.
Like, are we looking at our roster right now and saying it's a good thing we signed Irv Smith?
Wasn't that Irv Smith signing just like one of those things where it's like,
it was insurance in case we couldn't get Jared Wiley.
Okay. Cool.
If Jared Wiley was who they were targeting in the draft, it was insurance in case they couldn't get Wiley. And they were looking at tons of tight ends, right?
Right. Mike J says, does anyone know LRZ's 40 time? I don't think there's an actual recorded 40 time. But you know what's crazy? I was looking at this the other day. Did you know, even though it wasn't recorded, that it was reported that Bo Jackson ran a 4 won several times.
Bo Jackson was nasty, dude.
At 220 or 30 pounds, this man ran a 4.1. So everybody's they going nuts about Xavier Worthy hitting a 4.21. Bo Jackson, apparently he didn't run the 40 at the combine because he didn't have to. A lot of NFL scouts went to his track meet when he was in high school, and they pulled him to the side and asked if he would run a 40 so they could clock it. And he ran a 4.17. And then they all didn't believe that they clocked it right, so they made him do it again, and he ran a 4.16. So apparently he just didn't run into they didn't do none of that back there really. The combine wasn't a big thing. But he didn't get clocked ever, but people say he did it several times. They actually said he did it in practice one time with pads on. So that's crazy.
Dude, he was nasty.
That's insane. But
Can you imagine playing baseball in Kansas City and playing football in Oakland?
That was crazy too.
That
right?
may have been one of the weirdest situations anybody ever had to go through in life.
Mike,
by the way, somebody did, or I think LRZ actually in an interview said what he thought his 40 time should have been because he said he had tested it multiple times. I want to say he said he was in the 4.3s, but when he ran, he didn't do as well, and they clocked him at like 4.41 or something. Or I might have that backwards. He might have said he thought he was going to get in the 4.2s, and he scored 4.3. Either way, he was saying that he knew he should have got something, and he clocked a little slower. So go find that interview. It was on a rugby. Somebody did a rugby interview with him. I think we did a short. So go find a short with LRZ getting interviewed, and then go find that full those full clips. And I'm pretty sure he says it within that.
Right. Ty says he's anxious to see Nico again this season. He thinks he stands a good chance to make the roster. I think a lot of people are thinking that, Ty. Well, Ty was there at camp last year, standing right beside us. He was right there beside us when Nico went down, and he was looking very promising last year. He made a so we'll see how he does this year.
Yeah. I think Nico's got a good chance because of his special teams ability again. But, I mean, how many people can we say special teams is the reason? Like, you can only get one or two of those guys. So.
Right. Speaking of, Michael says punt return might save Tony's career. I think there's a lot of guys that are going to be very
special team dependent.
Yeah, dependent on special teams, but there's only so many spots for these people. You know what's crazy is now we have so many guys on the roster that could return punts and return kicks. But 2 years ago, Dave Tobe felt the need to put Sky Moore in there as a punt returner. He'd never done it before, and he couldn't do it, but he just kept him in there. Like, what changed in a year and a half to where now everybody's a punt returner? Like, it's insane.
I guess they didn't want to be in that.
But no, you know what pissed me off the most about that? You know what pissed me off the most about that? McCole Hardman was on the team that whole time. What were you trying? What are you doing?
They could have let McCole Hardman do that.
That's got to be the single biggest blunder in Dave Tobe's coaching career, in my opinion.
Wonder what they were trying to do. They trying to develop.
They're trying to force something that wasn't there.
Were they trying to get Sky, though, to just have more of a role because they felt like he wasn't going to integrate in the offense, so they didn't want it to look like a bust pick?
What they did was effectively hurt the kid's confidence and make everybody in Chiefs Kingdom hate him.
But he did step up against the Bengals.
That's what they did. That's what they did to him.
Had a big punt return late. So
yeah. Jonna says, what is I hear Brian Thomas Jr. to the Chiefs, $12 million trade? Can you confirm this? Can't confirm it because I highly doubt that's even remotely true. This guy was drafted by who ended up getting Brian Thomas Jr.?
Was it the Steelers? They paired him up with George, wasn't it?
I can't remember. I think that's who everybody thought was going to take him. Who did he actually go to?
Oh, yeah, they actually drafted the
Jaguars.
The Jags. The Steelers actually got Troy Fautanu because he fell. Remember something about his knee?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jacksonville's not going to trade Brian Thomas. Unless there's another Brian Thomas Jr. in the NFL that I'm not privy to, but yeah, that ain't happening.
Maybe they're thinking Brian Robinson Jr., the running back from the Commanders, the one that shot himself in the leg, or he got shot in the leg or something.
Yeah, something.
I don't know. Man, everybody's talking about Mike Tyson's Punch-Out in the chat. I got to keep scrolling. Talk about Glass Joe and Bald Bull. All kinds of good stuff.
Dude,
good
they were tough. Who's the guy that like would do this and then his pants would fall down? Was that King Hippo?
King Hippo, son. No, he'd go, durr, 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 and you had to time it just right and punch him in the stomach.
Oh, I was thinking of Piston Honda. Remember him?
No, his was the eyes. Yeah, and then you had the magician guy who would go in a circle. Such a good game.
I like Don Flamenco.
Such a good game. I clicked the wrong thing here, by the way.
Donald Flamenco.
Boing. Flip with the 10 bomb says, last season, if KT, MVS, or Moore had caught more passes, do you all still believe Rice would be just as good or better or for worse? Reminder, Rice didn't really show up till late mid-season. So I think that a lot of Rice not showing up till late, like mid to late season, was them trying to find, how to use them, how they could use them. I think Andy finally got a grasp on that. I think that Rashee Rice also got more of a feel for the speed of the NFL. He started understanding spacing and finding soft spots in zones, and
he learned how to read a zone.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I think that's what really contributed to that. I don't think that if any of those guys had caught more passes that it would have really stunted Rice. I think it could have only helped, because I think the more good receivers you have on the field, that's counting Kelsey too, the better for everyone.
Look, the more MVS could have actually hung on to some deep balls.
He could actually stretch the field because they would have been afraid.
Yeah, it didn't really hurt. I will say, though, the fact that they did try to incorporate way too many of those receivers at any given time was killing some of the chemistry.
Absolutely.
And just the receiving group as a whole just stunk. Like, they just couldn't get it together. They were in their own heads. They were horrible. And I think, honestly, all that together kind of stunted the growth of Kadarius Toney getting it back. Like, he got in his own head. Sky Moore and them, they just couldn't find rhythm. Like, they were constantly getting beat down from the public. They internally, I know internally they were probably kicking their own ass, and Patrick was probably getting frustrated. Good Lord, Patrick went ham last year. He was so frustrated. He didn't want to come out and say it because he's a leader, but he was getting frustrated. Everybody was getting frustrated.
He lost it for a minute. He did.
Yeah, he took it out on that official.
Yeah, appreciate the 10, Flip. Sam says that's when they were saying Hardman was the number one receiver, back when they were making Sky Moore return punts. They wouldn't let him do it. That should have been some kind of foreshadowing of the amount of bullshit they'll feed you when they're telling you about number ones. If they were telling us McCole Hardman was the number one receiver
of the year. McCole number one to KT in the next year?
Absolutely, man. Brett Veach tried to sell us a lemon twice, bro.
Brett, what are you doing? Is he a used car salesman on the weekend?
Absolutely. Good Lord. He's like Tony Melito, the dealer for the people.
He's like, I'm Brett Veach, the dealer for the people. I got this guy out of Georgia here. Traded
zero
up,
down,
him DK
zero
Metcalf.
down, no credit check, don't matter. We'll get you in a car today.
$1 trade-in. Brett Veach, calm down.
That's so funny. Can you believe that, though, that they actually said McCole and Kadarius Toney were going to be a number one? That's wild.
We were down bad, baby.
Man, Rob with another 10 bomb. He says, hope we see some contract extensions soon. Agreed. I think that's what I want to focus on. I think the team's in a very good situation. Like, our roster is pretty solid, I think. Like, yeah, it's always fun to talk about additions, and people like to talk about trade possibilities, or like if somebody gets cut, like maybe we should sign them. Chiefs Kingdom loves trade and signing talk. Absolutely love it. But I think it's smart to look at this team and be like, hey, we've gotten better since last year and the year before that. And what happened in the last 2 years? 2 Super Bowl rings. So you're at a position now to where you're like, let's go ahead and alleviate some of that stuff that's getting ready to come in the offseason. Because if they don't get some extensions done with, like you said, Creed, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, like all of it's going to hit at one time next summer or next spring. And it's like, then what? It's going to be
right. And then
and
then you're going to have the year of Karlaftis McDuffie both being first rounders that they're going to have to try to re-sign.
Right, man.
We need to start planning about a year ahead on some of these guys, and I think Brettman's smart enough to do it.
Absolutely. Appreciate the 10, Rob. We got Mike Yoways with the gifted membership. Appreciate you, Mike.
Doing the Lord's work.
Let's go. Let's grow the crew. We need to get the crew bigger. I want to give away more stuff at the live, like the members only.
Blue Chew the crew. Get them bigger.
Yeah, Blue Chew.
Chris Jones, this bad boy.
Man, that's awesome. Mike says about to see 6K and 60 touchdowns if Andy keeps boot on throat. Yes, I definitely want to see Andy be more cutthroat. Like, I think he started to get there in the last couple of years. I think we've seen Andy take his foot off the gas less in the last year and a half than we have ever. So if Andy could just get that killer instinct to where he don't, care, like we're just going to go ahead, put our foot on their throat in this thing. Do you think that Mahomes could hit 6K and 60? That'd be insane, bro.
I mean, you're
it's damn near
pushing it.
impossible. But would you say 5,500 and 55? How about that?
Yeah, I could maybe see that. Did you know that if Andy played every team like he plays the Raiders, we would be set. His average margin of victory since he's been in KC, he's 18-4 against the Raiders. His average margin of victory versus the Raiders is 17 points.
He likes whooping the Raiders' ass, bro.
Look, but with the Broncos, his average margin's 11, and with the Chargers, it's 9. So he has absolutely dominated the AFC West.
Which is hilarious.
But what's funny is he plays the AFC South, and he decides he can't figure it out.
It's because they just run the ball. It's boring.
Yeah, AFC South is
I think like they're so boring that it puts Andy to sleep. He forgets he's at the football game. Forgets he's even at a football game, bro. Julia Gulia says it's not Andy's style to have that killer instinct. I've seen it more and more the last year or two, though. I will say that. Because there's been some games where we had that lead at the halftime, and you're just like, man, let's not do what we did against the Bengals. Let's not do what we did against, Indianapolis back when Smith was there. Like, can we please just go ahead, put them away? There were a couple games where we put teams away, and it was nice.
One of the games I can remember where we just kind of put the foot on the throat because we were just on them early. And stuff went our way right off the rip, and I was so proud of Andy for not taking his foot off the gas. It was the year right after we lost to the Bucs in the Super Bowl, and we went down and played them in Tampa on Monday Night Football. And we absolutely throttled them right there in front of Jesus and everybody.
I don't remember that. I remember the year that
when we throttled them down there in Tampa.
We pretty much throttled them the year we lost to them in the Super Bowl, but then they had like a bunch of garbage time points.
No, I'm talking about the one. I want to say it was the game like the season right after. So it would have been.
I'm trying to remember. Let me look.
What would
into
it have been? 2021, maybe.
Yeah.
I want to say it was like week 4, week 5. This is off the top of my head. I'm telling you, I'm like a daggone Wikipedia sometimes.
I don't know.
Sometimes I'm just an idiot.
Let's check it out, man. So the Super Bowl was that year too, so it's going to be hard to find like the regular season.
It was the very next year after they lost to the Bucs in the Super Bowl.
So it would have been 21, 2022. Huh. I mean 41-31. October 2nd of 2022. Is that
was it?
About?
That was it. Like that was the one you're talking about where they scored some garbage time.
No, the same year that we lost to in the Super Bowl. Do you remember Tyreek Hill had like 200 yards receiving in the first half? It was 28-0.
Was that game?
That was the year we lost to them in the Super Bowl. That's why everybody had this false confidence going into the Super Bowl. It was like they ignored the fact that we had no offensive line, which worried us. But like a lot of people were just like, man, we just stomped the crap out of them, dude. I'm not worried about this. It's a lock. You don't remember that?
Yeah, kind of. But yeah, if I remember, like the game I was talking about.
Hill had 3 touchdowns in one quarter that game, yeah.
Yeah, I think the game I was talking about, we went up 14-3 early. And then I think Brady scored 2 times in the second. And then we got outscored in the final half, I think 14-13. So it made it look closer than it was, which I guess technically that's Andy taking his foot off the gas. So maybe I was just completely wrong. Yeah. Andy took his foot off the gas.
Chief Kelsey in the house. What's up, my man? He said Veach and Chiefs never ever said Hardman or KT was the number 1 wide receiver. They stated he could be, or they could be. Well, I agree. I don't know if they ever actually came out and said it either. It could have been like, oh, they could do it. But, like, I feel like it definitely got twisted to that by the fan base, right?
Look, I don't know what world you ever think Mecole Hardman could be a number 1 receiver, but it ain't in this world.
Or, dude, Tony
and honestly,
or Hardman.
I don't think Kadarius Toney's earned anywhere near the right to even say he could be a wide receiver 1. Don't you have to give at least – like, look, people don't even want to say Rashee Rice could be a wide receiver 1. Dude, T. Higgins ain't even a wide receiver 1 in this league.
No.
And look
he's
at his
not.
track record. And I wouldn't call him a wide receiver one. Ain't no way. I can name 20 receivers better than T. Higgins.
Yeah. Amy says, did you hear that CBS Sports has the Chargers winning the West every year, Amy?
Hey, in other news, water's wet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they're going to do every single
year.
season.
It's like they project. They're like they hope. They're just telling you what they're hoping for, not what they think is actually going to happen.
Oh, yeah, they're preying on the Chiefs' downfall. Like, they're just sitting around. They all got their Ouija boards out. They're conjuring up spirits. They're going hard.
Gary said that the only loss to the Raiders in the 90s was one for Marty.
Marty only lost one time to the Raiders in the 90s.
That's pretty crazy.
That's a wild stat. I didn't even know that. I would have never guessed it.
It's pretty crazy. But, I mean, like, I wasn't kind of through Marty's. That's when the Broncos were a pain in our ass, though, right? Elway, probably Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis was right around the
Shannon
2000s.
Sharp.
Man, you remember when we lost Neil Smith to the Broncos? That just really pissed me off.
I like how I just brought up a bad memory for you. That's so funny. Man, if you guys don't care, do us a favor. Hit that like button for us real quick if you haven't already. We're going to be around for a little bit longer tonight, so if you have any questions, get those in the chat. Just real quick, before we move on, just wanted to shout out our Patreon, patreon.com/allchievedup. You can sign up over there for $1. We'll give away like a signed jersey or something of the sort each month to one of those members. All you have to do is be a patron for $1 a month, and you can possibly win that. Cindy Jennings just won a signed Will Shields jersey. So I think this month we might be looking at maybe Tony Richardson.
Yeah, maybe. I think we
Signed
got a
T-Rich?
T-Rich jersey coming.
So, yeah, get over there and sign up. Also, if you'd like to buy any All Chiefed Up merch, get you a beautiful shirt like this that says podcast for that ass on the back. Get
Marvelous Mike. Marvelous Mike won the Dante Hall.
Yeah.
Still haven't heard from Marvelous Mike. Where is he?
I don't know, but he's got better come
Marvelous
forward
Mike,
soon.
you don't claim this before camp, and I'm giving it away again.
Right. And before I was rudely interrupted by Marvelous Mike number 2, get over to merch.allchievedup.com and get yourself one of these bad boys. Look sexy in your All Chiefed Up merch. Oh, yeah. And just because I'm on a rant.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Ooh, you've probably seen this on our videos, but we've partnered up with Foco and Trey Smith trying to sell these bad boys a whole little grill set. For the Chiefs, you get a hat, a mitt, and the apron, all for $75, or you can piece it out however you want to do it. The link will be in our description. Just click that and go get that, and they'll know that us and Trey sent you their way.
Yeah, for sure. Man, I'm glad to see that we got back in today. I'm not for sure what they plan on doing for the next few days. I'm sure it's just going to be like giving the rookies a little rundown of how they're going to do camp. They're going to get them out there and work up a sweat a little bit. It's not going to be nothing strenuous, but it's looking like next week, man, we're going full force, and I'm so excited to have football back.
Hey,
Dude,
have a
I
good night,
cannot take
Melissa. Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be fun. It's so close, you can taste it, Mike. I mean, we're watching the guys
Feel it.
walk into St. Joe today. Like,
Feel it
how cool was
down
that
the
to see them walking into camp? Like,
I know, man.
it's that time of year. You know, we're coming up on the best time of the year. Like, I'll argue to the death, but the best 3 months of the year is the last quarter. It is. I mean, fall is amazing. The weather's amazing.
You like the bird
Football, like Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, like everything cool happens in the last 3 months.
You're a bird month guy. If you were a girl, your name would have been Amber.
I don't understand. Oh, Burr.
September,
I see what you're doing.
October,
I see what you're doing
November,
there.
December. That's your thing, man.
I guess so. I guess I'm a Burr.
You're a bird.
What was it? Do you remember that commercial with like peanut butter and it was like they were trying to say Aaron Burr or something Burr? Do you know what I'm talking about?
He had peanut butter in his mouth.
What was that?
Yeah, remember? Wasn't it the kid that played in People Under the Stairs?
Yeah, Roach.
Yeah.
It might have been. You might be right about that. The 90s was a weird time, but I loved it. It was the best time. Bryant Williamson with the 5 bombs says horned up for a boy. Y'all are awesome. I think he meant Patrick Mahomes, kid. So, what do you think, Mike? You think it's going to be a boy or a girl if you had to guess?
Something tells me it's going to be a girl.
You think so? This back and forth?
Do you you ever just seen those guys that like they want a lot of kids and they want boys and stuff, but they just don't? What's happening? What is this guy doing? What's he doing?
I can't.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Look, I think it may be a girl. What is he doing? Oh my God, what is this guy? He's out. Steve is horned right now. Like
I'm trying to get it together.
he can't. Appreciate the 5, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
What are you doing?
I'm getting it together, man.
You're crying right
Just
now. I'm about to cry because you're crying.
Let me get it together here.
You need a moment.
Flip. Flip said, Steve, do you have all girls? No, actually.
2 boys.
Yeah. So I guess total, like we're like a blended family. So total we have 3 boys
Yeah. I forgot about Kurt. I always forget about Kurt.
and 4 girls. So a lot of
Kurt's
girls,
like a
though.
grown man almost.
The thing is that like one of the girls is a teenager now. She's already to the point to where dad's not cool anymore and stuff. But the other girls, they're very close in age. So like there's going to be 3 teenagers at once, bro.
That's going to be a disaster.
It's going to be rough. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Let's do it. Y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Bryant for the 5 bomb, Rob for the 10 bomb, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all. Mennonite? What do you mean?
Oh, because of your beard.
Oh.
Dude. What just happened back there?
What?
Why'd you lose your mind?
Why are you trying to bring it back up? I don't want to laugh again.
I
just now
see
pulled
you
it back
lose
together.
bro.
Stop trying to bring it back. I see what you're doing. It's not going to happen.
Julia can't even breathe. Like she got hit hard
no.
with it.
Gamer Player says, what is our strongest position group? Defensive back, linebacker, wide receiver, or line? That's a good question. I would go... Oh,
They just named our offensive line 3 best interiors, pretty much.
I think you have to go with the offensive line, honestly, even though like we're not sure about left tackle. But I mean, like, isn't wide receiver and defensive back kind of the same? Like, there's a lot of really good guys there. We just got to see how it pans out.
And you got to see,
But
after 4 or 5, you got to see who gets it.
Now, linebacker's pretty solid as well.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think-
because Cam Jones.
I'm still going to go. I'd go offensive line just because 4 of the 5 positions are absolutely rock solid. And if Kingsley were to turn out to be that guy, I mean, we're going to be good, man.
All right, I still may go linebacker here. Drew Tranquil, Nick Bolton. Again, you got Cam Jones. I don't know if they're going to bring back the guy that Kelsey kept punching on last year. They may bring in Isaiah
Jack
Moore.
Cochran.
Yeah, he got cold Cochran a few times. But, hey, look, he was solid special teamer, but I don't know. Isaiah Moore's got a shot if he can come back healthy this year if they bring him back into camp, which I'm pretty sure. And, yeah, I don't know. Linebacker's pretty solid. Tranquil and Bolton, pretty solid group. Kind of sucked to lose Willie a little bit. Oh, forgot about Leo.
Right, yeah. I was getting ready to say.
I knew there was another one. It just was escaping me here.
Flip here, he's not wrong. Like our quarterback room's pretty solid. If you got Mahomes, Prince Harry, and Oladokin, I think we're solid there.
Dude, I think Oladokin could start for certain teams.
I mean, he could mimic Lamar Jackson enough to be the defensive player of the game in the
That's
AFC
what I'm saying. I
Championship.
think he could start. Like I would, if I were the Raiders, I'd rather have Oladokin right now on my roster than any of the 2 scrubs they got.
Yeah. I hate you, Julia. Let's see
What's
here.
happening?
Nothing. Ray says, Mike and Steve, according to Jeremy Fowler, Mahomes still needs to work on footwork. Is he serious? No, he's not serious. Like anyone trying to critique Patrick Mahomes at this point or downplay what he's done or put any other quarterback above him. I saw where Cowherd actually had the nerve to say that if they were redrafting the entire league, the only reason anybody would pick Patrick Mahomes over Josh Allen is because they felt pressured because he had trophies.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was important.
no kidding, dude. But no, literally,
Cal Turd is an idiot.
anyone that's downplaying Mahomes, picking another quarterback over Mahomes, or saying that he needs to work on his footwork, they're not serious. They're slapnuts. Like, end of story.
Could there be a more bailout answer, though? Just so that you can't say that a guy's perfect. I'm sure Mahomes would agree he's not perfect. So he's just going to, like, generically say, footwork. The dude throws off balance. He throws more accurately off balance.
I feel like
in the pocket.
right. I feel like that's super lazy. It's just like, what did they say about him before he got in the league? Let's just go with that. You know,
come on,
stupid.
Hey, we haven't played Where in the World's K Wayne tonight.
Well, I think we'll do it right after this. Gary says the kid Chiefs draft O lineman from Penn State. I think he's going to be good.
Hunter Norzad.
I agree, man. I like Norzad. He's a smart kid. Like, I think a lot of people downplay that attribute, I guess you would say, as far as like linemen go. Like, big brain linemen go a long way, man. Like, I mean, if you notice, like, a lot of the better guys are really smart guys, and I think there's some that definitely correlates. Norzad also super strong, versatile. He can play pretty much anywhere on the offensive line, so I like it. I like that pick a lot. Mike, is it time?
Yeah, it's probably time. I'm going to get it together. Here we go. Cover your ears.
Tell me where in the world is
K Wayne.
Why do you have K Wayne?
K Wayne. Hey, so check it out. I'm ahead 2-1. Dos to uno. Okay? And so tonight, Steve, you get the honors. You get to pick first, I think. You're behind.
Let me
So where you going?
channel
tonight?
my inner K Wayne, okay?
Where's your inner K going?
I'm acting like I'm driving the truck. I'm starting shit with everybody on the internet. Like, just like
Get it.
instigating a little. Instigating.
I think your steering wheel is a little short for a semi-steering wheel. I think you got to be, yeah. Hey, shift it too. It's way up here.
What's the sign I see? I think we're heading to the Motor City, baby. I'm going Detroit.
He's
Michigan.
going Detroit. Oh, daggone. He's going Detroit. Look, I think K Wayne is out of the North, out of the Rust Belt. K Wayne is K Wayne's cruising in North Carolina, baby. I'm going straight East Coast, Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's go.
All right. Well,
Steve, you have a chance to beat me bad here because Raleigh is not close to anything.
Nope. So where in the world are you, K Wayne? Let us know in the chat. Mike, I need a win here. It's time. I need a W. I need it.
You need to pull it back together. If you name the exact city, is that a 2-pointer?
I don't know.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Wayne said he won the Super Bowl. Oh, daggone. Where's he at?
Are you in Vegas? Or are you in...
Well, that's not. They didn't win no Super Bowl.
No, but that's where they won the Super Bowl.
Tampa?
Is he in KC? Is he literally...
No way he's in KC. He's never in KC.
Where you at, K Wayne? Quit being cryptic. Just tell your boys we're stupid.
Yeah. Maybe he's up in New England. Orlando. Mike wins again, baby.
What?
Let's go.
I think you cheat. You knew. You knew somehow. Who goes Raleigh, North Carolina out of the blue? You're cheating.
What?
He's never been down there.
Raleigh, North Carolina's not down there.
It is. Isn't it?
The house of the mouse.
All right,
says
all right.
K-Wayne.
Mike's up 3-1. I'm never catching up.
3-1. Mike is on a roll here.
Mike's been cheating.
Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh.
I don't like it. I feel like I got cheated. What's up, Kathy?
Damn, baby.
Better late than never.
You know, I was going to say, for some reason, I was going to say Tampa. I would have been just
Mike's cheating.
an hour and a half away.
You're like you're the Bill Belichick of freaking where in the world is K Wayne?
I don't have a GPS tracker on K Wayne.
Something's going on here. You saw him say something. I don't know.
What?
There's no way that you're winning this many times in a row.
I think I'm zoned in, focused.
Rigged. Chieffer even says it's rigged, son. Mike, what are we going to call this one? Spygate 2.0?
Spygate. Let's call it Mastergate.
Oh,
1.0.
Mike says Orlando's not North Carolina. How did Mike win? He was closer. So,
Yeah,
like,
it's
we
just closer.
guess, and whoever's closer gets the point for the day. That's how.
Wayne said,
Man.
you said Jacksonville earlier. That's close. See, I for some reason, I just had, like, South in my head.
K. Wayne, if I was you, I'd be scared a little.
Come on.
Mike's stalking, baby.
Stalking.
It's called Petergate. Let's go.
Petergate. I don't know if I like that one now.
The Blue Chew Gate.
That's the Blue Chew talking, says Brian.
Let's
Going
go.
right.
Man.
Well, I
gotta
think
go-
we're done for the night, ladies and gents. We appreciate you being here.
Oh, wait. Real quick. Mastergate brought to you by Blue Chew. Mike, yep, this scandal is going to be called Mastergate, so I hope
That's
you're
what I
ready for that
said.
one.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I haven't been filming K. Wayne through practices. If K. Wayne made a practice run and I filmed it, I'll say it. Oh, no.
That's so funny. But yeah, I appreciate you guys being here. We're going to go work on the video that you'll be seeing tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Get over and watch that when it drops. Give us a like. Leave a comment. Had a good time with you guys tonight. We'll be back on Thursday with another live stream. So what are you laughing about, Mike?
Julia's still going. Steve, you lost your mind tonight.
Yeah, leave me alone, you know?
If that doesn't make it into an edit of some kind of a video, I don't know what that was for. That was just lost footage if we don't bring that out of the archives, baby.
Shut up. What? I said shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you guys have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Go Chiefs.
There goes a sight from my soul.